Hi guys, it's Sam and I'm back with another video for Lawn Fun. Today I'm going to be using the new Really Great Day stamps and dies, Coaster Critter stamps and dies, and Coaster Critter Flip Flop stamps and dies. I'm also going to be using a couple of stencils, but I will point those out down the line. And I'm going to make this an interactive card, so I will be using the Flippy Flappy die. Once all my images are stamped, I heat set them dry, and then I'm just going to color them all in with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I'm going to be coloring a lot of images, but they're all tiny. There's not a lot of surface area, and it actually goes pretty quickly. I did speed this up, but I will walk you through basically what I use. For these tiny bears, I'm just using two colors. I'm using a medium brown and a dark brown, and I start with adding the medium brown, pulling it out with a damp water brush, going back over the damp image with a dark brown, then the medium brown, and then pulling it back out with the water brush again. Super simple coloring, and that's what I'm doing for all of these. The bunnies are two different shades of gray, a dark gray and a light gray, and I, of course, give the critters pink cheeks too. Can't do a critter without those pink puffy cheeks. Let's see, what next? I know I color the cotton candy. Of course, it had to be a bright pink, right? This is my favorite pink combination. It's a hot pink and a pale orange, and I love the different colors. How they're so drastic, but they work together so well, especially with the zig colors. The tickets, the banner of this little ticket stall, the roller coaster cars, and the tickets in the top corner, they're all going to be colored rainbowy. So even though I don't use all these images, I had plans to use all these images. But I ran out of space on the card. So instead of making a regular slimline card, I had this idea to use the Flippy Flappy die. So I had to cut some of the images from the card. But I will save them later and use on a future card. But I in the meantime, I did not know that. So I'm coloring everything rainbowy. So there's like red, orange, yellow, green tickets, red, orange, yellow, green, mint green roller coaster cars, and the Ferris wheel, of course, as well, will be rainbow color because I couldn't not color the Ferris wheel rainbow. The roller coaster themselves, the roller coaster tracks, I decided to color yellow because it's like the happiest, brightest. It's not a neutral. Yellow is not a neutral, but I like yellow as a neutral when I have rainbow images because it just adds even more happiness to your card. So I colored the first coaster track, the large one, and I kind of did shading throughout the whole thing, the top, the bottom, middle. I don't really know what I was thinking. But then when I went to these smaller ones, I'm like, oh, I really like it darker on the bottom than on the top. So that's how I colored the second one. So, but it doesn't, I mean, no one's going to look at your card and judge your shading. Otherwise, that would just be mean, right? But I am, as usual, using a mustard colored brown for the base of my yellow, and then a medium yellow and a bright yellow, just to add a little bit more shading so it's not so yellow. I also use a dark brown for the shading of my red areas, which I did earlier, and I'll do again on the large ticket. I decided to color the tickets of the booth in the yellow, like the coaster. And then the fox, you'll see here, I colored this fox in just two oranges, a dark orange and a light orange, and I hated it. I was like, wow, this looks terrible. So I'm stamping him again. And I decided, okay, I'm just going to color the top and the bottom tail. Then I thought, that does not look like a fox. So I moved to the little fox, who's just like, just the head, which was easy to color. And I'm adding the gray to my other fox that I stamped. And I'm like, that still doesn't look right. So even though I added the gray, I go back and I add a little bit of the light orange, the dark orange, and save a lighter around the tummy area. And I do like how that turned out. It turned out much better. You can kind of see the difference between the bright orange original fox I colored and then the fox that was toned down with the gray. Kind of looks, it's a less harsh on your eyes. So then I'm going to color these large tickets. I am going to do rainbows. I am doing the darker shade on the outside. Inside I do a lighter shade. So red around the border, pink inside, orange around the border, yellow inside. Then I do a dark green around the other border and a minty greenish teal inside, which I don't end up using that ticket. But like I said, I will save it and use it next time. I thought I was done coloring after this ticket, and I was like, oh, good, I'm done coloring. But alas, the Ferris wheel, which I didn't have space for on this sheet, was hiding the whole time. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's color this too. I need the Ferris wheel. So then I thought, how am I going to color this? Ding, light bulb, rainbow. So I am just using the same exact color combinations in rainbow that I used on the previous coloring, which is the dark brown, a carmine red, and an orange for the red. I'm using a pink and a beige for the pink. I'm using the two oranges for the orange, a mustard yellow, a medium yellow, and a light yellow for the yellow car, and then teal, light blue, and a mint color to make the minty car, the minty color. And then of course I have to use my bright neutral, I'm using air quotes, neutral yellow to color in the base of the Ferris wheel and the little stands, just to make it extra happy. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta color the inside of that circle. So, I mean, why not continue with the rainbow? So red, orange, yellow, the mint green. Oh no, I'm sorry, the regular green. Then the mint green, teal, then just regular teal, and I think pink. Yep, my pink cotton candy colors. And then a little bit of gray in the very center of all the cars and in the very center of the Ferris wheel. And I am done this time. It wasn't so bad. See, lots of coloring, but tiny, tiny images, so it went super fast. Next, I die cut all the pieces using the Flippy Flappy die set. The card base was cut to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Then I die cut the tab with 110-pound cardstock. Everything else was 80-pound white cardstock. I'm just going to write front and back on both of these main pieces. I got this tip from the lawnfawn video of release week, and I do it every time so that I don't mess it up. I'm just showing you the other pieces that were die cut. I used acetate for the pop-up mechanism, and now I'm just going to fold down every perforated line on the inside of this card base. I'm going to fold it all, whoops, front ways, flip it over to the back, and fold it all down. I'm just using a bone folder to make sure it's nice and folded. Then I'm going to line up the back of the pull tab to the back of the card front part. I'm going to pull through the folded perforated areas that I just folded down. And I'm just going to make sure that the first tab is through and that the bottom is all lined up nice and straight. Then I'm going to take my 1/4 inch wide, very, very sticky tape. I'm just going to put it along the top of that flap, pull off the release paper, and fold it down. And use my bone folder, make sure it's nice and tight, not going anywhere. I'm going to put on some foam tape on the back of the cards, just the very edges, the left and right side, nowhere else, because you want to give lots of space. And I make sure to double up the foam tape on the sides. I find the more space you have, like the more height you have on these edges, the better the actual Flippy Flappy accordion style piece works. So yep, I'm just doing 2 layers, and then the Flippy Flappy part is done for now. It goes up and down. You just want to make it work, make sure it works. I'm going to pre-put a little bit more tape along once it's all the way, the tab is all the way pulled through. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the one showing piece. That's where my acetate is going to go, but I'm not going to attach it yet. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do. Right now I'm going to work on the base of the card, and then we can put the rest of the Flippy Flappy together. So I cut another white piece of cardstock, 80 pounds, to 3 3/4 and 5 inches, and I'm going to do some ink blending for the background of my card. I am using Blueprint Sketch and Mermaid Lagoon, but then I do go in and add a little bit of Wilted Violet to the top of the sky as well. I'm just doing, well, not really heavily saturated. I'm just doing 1 layer basically of the color because I know I'm going to go on top of it with the stencil. So that's my base layer. And then for the bottom, the ground, I'm using Fossilized Amber and Vintage Photo. And I'm just kind of having it meet in the middle without going over each other's ink so it doesn't blend too much. And now I'm going to take the Sunray stencil. I'm going to line it up, tape it to my card base, and use those same Distress Ink colors that I used, but with a little bit more pressure, and add in the sun rays of this beautiful day at the amusement park that these critters are going to have. And I'm not going to go over too much. I do a little bit because I mistaked. I made a mistake. But I'm just going to go to the edge of the ground. And then I thought, ooh, let's add some clouds. So I'm using just one of the cloud background stencils for the background. I'm using white paste and a plastic palette knife, and I'm just going to set that aside to dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to heat emboss the sentiment. And I'm just going to do, I had to use thrilling because there's all these rides and roller coasters, so it's have a thrilling birthday, and I think it's hysterical and perfect for this card. And this is basically what the card front is going to look like. I already popped up those critters on the Ferris wheel, and I added foam tape to the critter with the cotton candy and the roller coaster car. And I'm just going to attach everything with the jumbo glue pen and my tape runner. And at this point, the clouds are dry, of course. And I'm going to take off my foam, add some glue, and once the front is done, you'll see I have all these pieces still left over, and I'm going to save most of them for another card, but I am going to use a few more in a surprise way. I'm adding tape to the tops, bottom, and sides of the card base, and I'm just going to attach it to the previously made Flippy Flappy that we did earlier, pull the tab all the way down and attach my acetate to the strip of tape. Then I'm going to add some more tape, and then this cute little cover that'll make it look all beautiful and perfect. And now, how cute is it? I'm going to add a little mini scene to the pull tab. The pull tab is actually going to flip up these tickets. They say admit 1 and ticket to celebrate, which is hysterical to me. And then I'm going to have this little bunny selling the tickets on the tab to the fox. And I mean, okay. I think this is adorable, but I should say I am adding the same color Distress Inks I did to the sky to the pull tab little arrow so that the person knows to pull it. I'm going to add some glue, and it's just going to attach right there at the base. And now I'm going to add this cute little scene because the fox is buying the tickets, and the tickets pop up, and then look, everyone's having a great time. And I crack myself up. That's all I can say. I crack myself up. And now I'm just going to take a regular card base with 110-pound cardstock. I'm kind of loosely lining up where it's going to go. There is a piece of the Flippy Flappy die set that lets you die cut a little semicircle from your card, which makes it easier to grab the pull tab. So I just die cut that from my card base. Now I'm going to line up the entire Flippy Flappy mechanism, and we're done. Look how cute! The tickets pop up, the scene pops up. It's a thrilling birthday. These critters are adorable. The whole scene is cute. This was super fun card to make, super easy. I love that little element of surprise. A birthday card deserves the fun, right? Thanks so much for joining me. Check out the card on the Lawnfawn blog and have a great day. Bye!